Yas Level 1, the Help Desk Analyst. You are 22 years old. You have a CompTIA Security Plus cert. You earned studying at your kitchen table for 4 months. You got the job because you were the only candidate who could explain what a firewall actually does without Googling it. Your salary is $42,000 a year. It sounds like a start. It is. Your desk is in a corner. You wear a headset 8 hours a day. You reset passwords. You unlock accounts. You walk people through multi-factor authentication like they've never seen a phone before. You do this 40 times a day. Some days, 60. You are not protecting anything yet. You are maintaining the illusion of order while the real threats move through channels no one is watching. But you are watching. That is the thing no one told you about this level. The watching. Every ticket is a data point. Every complaint about a locked account. Every report of a weird email. Every user who says their computer is acting strange. You build a map in your head. You don't have the access to act on it yet, but you remember everything. The office is open floor plan. The security team is across the room. They have better chairs. They don't take tickets. You watch them. You study what they do. You ask questions on your lunch break. Some of them answer. Some of them look at you like you're asking to be let into a club with a dress code you don't own. You study at night. Network Plus, CYSA Plus, Splunk Fundamentals. You spend your evenings with documentation and your weekends on TryHackMe, solving challenges designed to simulate the attacks you haven't seen in the real world yet. Your girlfriend asks when you're coming to bed. You tell her 10 more minutes. It's always 10 more minutes. Your first real moment comes at 3:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. A user reports that Outlook is sending emails she didn't write. You escalate. The security team takes over. They contain the breach in 40 minutes. You watch the whole thing from the edge of the room. They caught it because of your ticket. No one says that out loud, but you know. 2 years here. That's the plan. 2 years, then move. Level 2. The SOC Analyst. Tier 1. You are 24. You made the jump. Security Operations Center. You are now one of 12 analysts sitting in a room with no windows and 6 monitors each. The screens glow blue and orange with alerts. The alerts never stop. Your base salary is $58,000. Your health insurance is decent. Your sleep schedule is not. You work rotating shifts. 3 days on, 2 off. Sometimes nights. Sometimes weekends. The SOC doesn't close. Threats don't observe business hours. Your job is triage. Alerts come in. You determine if they are real or noise. 93% are noise. False positives generated by systems that are too sensitive or not calibrated correctly or just old. You sort through them anyway because the 7% are real, and the real ones can end a company in a weekend. You learn to read logs the way other people read text messages. Fast. Pattern recognition. You learn what normal looks like so that abnormal jumps out at you like a word misspelled in a sentence. You learn the MITREATT and CK framework by heart. You learn that most attackers follow playbooks because most attackers are not geniuses. They are patient, and patience is harder to defend against than brilliance. On a Wednesday night in November, you are the first analyst to see a pattern that looks wrong. A single endpoint checking in with a domain registered 2 weeks ago. Low and slow, trying not to be seen. You flag it. You escalate. The incident response team spends 6 hours confirming what you already knew 40 minutes in. That case gets written into the team playbook with your name on the detection note. Your supervisor mentions it in your review. She says you have good instincts. You do not tell her the instincts took 2 years of nights studying things no one asked you to study. This is the floor, not the ceiling. Level 3. The SOC Analyst. Tier 2. You are 27. Tier 2 means you get the escalations that Tier 1 couldn't close. The weird ones. The ones that don't fit the playbooks. You make $74,000 a year. You have a reputation inside the team for finding things that aren't supposed to be findable. You have developed what your colleagues call a bias toward investigation. When something looks clean, you look again. Attackers know how logs work. They know what defenders look for. The sophisticated ones leave a clean surface on purpose. You have learned to distrust clean surfaces. Your most important tool is not software. It is context. You know the environment you're defending. You know which endpoints talk to which servers and why. You know which users have unusual patterns and what makes those patterns normal for them specifically. You have built a mental model of the network over 3 years of watching it breathe. A phishing campaign targets your finance department. 5 employees click. The first 4 get caught by your email security platform. The 5th lands in your queue at 11 p.m. on a Friday. Something about the beacon intervals looks familiar. You've seen this infrastructure before. 3 months ago, a different company. You read about it in a threat intelligence report you bookmarked on your own time. You contain the endpoint. You pull the memory dump. You find the implant. You document everything in detail because the federal report that follows will need it. The incident response lead asks where you learned to do that. You tell her. She says you should be doing IR work. You have been thinking the same thing. Your CIS-SP exam is on a Saturday morning in a testing center that smells like anxiety and recycled air. You pass. Level 4, the incident responder. You are 29. You are no longer watching from a screen. You are in it. When a company gets hit, when the breach is real and the damage is spreading, and the executives are in a conference room not sleeping, you are the person they call. Your salary is $95,000. You have a go bag by the door with a laptop, a forensics toolkit on an encrypted drive, and a charger for the flight you might take in 4 hours. You have taken that flight 11 times in 2 years. 3 of them were on Sundays. Incident response is medicine with worse hours and no residency training. You arrive at organizations mid-crisis. The environment is degraded. Evidence is corrupted or missing. People have already made mistakes, deleted files, powered off servers that needed to stay on, tried to fix things before calling you. Your job is to understand what happened from what remains. You have a method. You follow it even when the client is standing over your shoulder, demanding answers before you have questions, especially then. The pressure to give answers early kills investigations. You have seen teams declare victory at 48 hours only to find the attacker still in the network 6 weeks later because someone was in a hurry. A ransomware case in March, manufacturing company, 40% of their systems encrypted. The attacker got in through a VPN appliance that hadn't been patched in 14 months. You spend 6 days on site. You find the initial access point, the lateral movement path, the dwell time of 22 days before detonation. You write a 40-page report that tells the company exactly what happened, exactly when, and exactly what they need to fix. The CEO reads the report. He calls it sobering. You call it a Tuesday. You miss your partner's birthday because you are in another city sitting in a server room at 2 a.m. You call from the hallway. The conversation is short, not because there is nothing to say, because there is too much and none of it fits into a phone call between evidence collection tasks. This is the cost of the work. You do not pretend it isn't. Level 5, the Threat Intelligence Analyst. You are 32. You have moved from reactive to predictive. You do not wait for incidents. You study the adversaries before they move. You make $112,000 a year, and you operate in a world that most people in security never see clearly. Your domain is threat actors, nation-state groups, organized criminal syndicates, hacktivists. Each has patterns. Each has tooling they prefer. Each has a history. You track them the way historians track empires. You read their code. You analyze their infrastructure. You map their campaigns across months and years. You have code names in your head for groups no public report has named yet. You have written intelligence products that inform decisions at the executive level of companies in 4 countries. You have briefed government liaisons. You have said the words high confidence attribution in rooms with people in suits and meant them technically. The work is invisible. The best threat intelligence prevents incidents that never make it into a post-mortem because they never happened. There is no award for the attack that didn't land. You learn to be satisfied with absence, with silence where there should have been damage. A campaign targeting financial institutions runs for 8 months. You track it from the first indicator. You publish a private report at month 2. At month 6, a peer analyst at a different firm contacts you because you both found the same infrastructure from different angles. You share data. You compare notes. In the space of 2 weeks, you map the entire operation. 3 banks are notified before the attacks reach them. You will never know for certain if the intelligence stopped them or if they simply moved on. That uncertainty is a permanent feature of this work. You accept it. Your relationship ended last year, not dramatically, just quietly, under the weight of canceled plans and half-present evenings, and the part of you that is always, at some level, somewhere else. Level 6. The penetration tester / red team lead. You are 35. You are now the attacker, not the real one, the sanctioned one. Companies pay you to break into their systems so the real attackers cannot. Your salary is $135,000. The certifications are on a shelf you never look at. What matters now is the work. You lead a red team. 4 analysts who specialize in different attack surfaces. You plan and execute adversary simulations, full-scope engagements, physical intrusion, social engineering, network exploitation, application attacks. You think like the threat actor. You have to, completely. Or the simulation fails to find the real gaps. You have walked into buildings with a fake badge and a laptop and a story. You have talked your way past security desks by sounding bored and important simultaneously. You have dropped USB drives in parking lots and watched the access logs light up as employees plug them in. You have fished a CFO with a single email so precisely crafted to his habits and his context that he clicked without pause. You put that in the report with no satisfaction. It means he's vulnerable. It means a real attacker with worse intentions could do the same thing and no one would stop them. A major retail client, 12-week engagement. You get domain admin on week 3. You spend the remaining 9 weeks documenting how far you could go. The answer is everywhere. You could have accessed customer payment data. You could have implanted ransomware. You could have exfiltrated 9 years of trade secrets. You write a report that is 94 pages long. The CISO reads it in one sitting. She calls it the most expensive thing she has ever received. You tell her that the real attackers would not have written a report. Yet your team respects you, your clients fear you, and hire you back. That combination is the whole career in a sentence. Level 7, the CISO, Chief Information Security Officer. You are 42. You earn $210,000 base. Bonus and equity bring total compensation to somewhere between $280,000 and $350,000, depending on how the year goes and how much of the company you were able to protect from itself. You have 300 people in your organization: engineers, analysts, architects, GRC specialists, a legal liaison, a communications lead for when the breach becomes a headline. Because it will become a headline. Every organization, given enough time, becomes a headline. Your job is not technical anymore. You remember being technical. Sometimes you miss it the way you miss a language you used to speak fluently. Your job now is translation. Between the security team and the board, between technical risk and financial risk, between what your people know and what the executives are willing to fund. You present to the board quarterly. They look at you the way people look at the weather report. Concerned when it's bad, relieved when it isn't, rarely understanding the full mechanism behind either. You have made decisions that cost the company money, decisions to slow down a product launch because the authentication was not secure, decisions to pull a vendor contract because their security posture created unacceptable exposure. These decisions made you enemies. They were correct. You would make them again? A breach happens at 6:43 p.m. on a Thursday. You are in a car on the way home from your daughter's school play, which you made it to this time, which is rare. You turn the car around. You are back in the building by 7:30. You spend the next 41 hours managing the response, the communications, the regulatory notifications, the board calls. The breach was not prevented. You spend a long time with that fact, not in self-destruction, in analysis. What systemic failure allowed this? What resource constraint created the gap? What warning you saw but could not act on fast enough? You fix it. You build the case for the budget you needed 2 years ago. This time, they approve it. Your son is 16. He wants to study computer science. You tell him it's a good field. You do not tell him which parts will cost him the most. Level 8, the retirement. You are 58 years old. You have been in this field for 36 years. You have watched it be born from hobbyist culture and military research and emerge into the defining technical discipline of the age. You have defended infrastructure that keeps hospitals running and banks solvent and power grids stable. You have done this largely in the dark, which is where the work lives. You retired 3 months ago. You handed off your access, gave a speech at the all hands, accepted a watch that no one had time to properly engrave. Then you went home on a Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m. for the first time in your career. You sat in your kitchen, the house was quiet. You didn't know what to do with the quiet. You think sometimes about the breaches you stopped that no one knows about. The ransomware campaigns you disrupted at the intelligence level before they ever launched. The nation-state actors you mapped and tracked and reported until someone with authority acted. The quiet victories. You think more often about the ones you didn't stop, the data that got out, the patients whose records were stolen, the infrastructure that went dark, the cases where you were right about the risk and didn't have the resources to close the gap in time. Both lists are long. That is the honest accounting of a career in defense. You never stop all of it. The goal was always to stop enough of it, to make the attack cost more than the reward, to raise the floor high enough that the most vulnerable things survive. Your granddaughter is 7. She takes apart electronics and puts them back together. She asks how computers know what to do. You sit with her for an hour and explain it the way you wish someone had explained it to you. Somewhere right now, in a corner of an open floor plan office, a 22-year-old is resetting a password. They are wearing a headset. They are watching the security team across the room with a specific kind of hunger. They have a plan. 2 years, then move. They don't know yet what they're walking into. They don't know the nights, the missed birthdays, the weight of a breach at 6:43 p.m. on a Thursday. They don't know what it costs to be the person standing between the attacker and everything that matters. But they will learn. They always do.